Good morning and welcome to day number 26 out of 180. Anyone out there, if you're sick, if you don't feel well, if you're having any health issues whatsoever, chronic fatigue, whatever it is, I don't normally prescribe specific advice, but I can say this with 100% conviction. Whole food diet. Just eliminate anything packaged, and then I would also urge people to eliminate, if you're having any sort of inflammatory issues, gut problems, fatigue, whatever it is, just get rid of conventional dairy, get rid of gluten, get rid of seed oils, get rid of anything in a package. It's gonna change your life. And do it, don't just do it for a little stint of time. It really took me a full 3 weeks to even start 100% realizing the benefits. I feel amazing. This is the third day in a row. Woke up at about 6:15 a.m. Just woke up, no alarm, nothing. Before, I was having like 20 alarms go off at 7, 8 a.m. and sleeping through all of them, just snoozing all of them without even incapable of getting out of bed. No matter how much willpower I tried to summon up, no matter how many stories I told myself about how important the things I needed to do were, didn't matter. I was just exhausted. I couldn't do it. Now I'm waking up with no issues, feeling great within the first 10-15 minutes of being out of bed, whereas before it was about 2 or 3 hours, and I attribute it almost entirely. There's a lot of other habits going into it, but I attribute it almost entirely to the lack of inflammation from just avoiding the toxic fucking poison that is ultra processed foods, and even processed foods whatsoever. I did a little bit of rice that one day, so I should say my only exceptions are small exceptions, still kind of single ingredient type foods. But if I'm going out to eat with a group of friends, going to someone's house for dinner, I will make small exceptions. I'm still going to avoid dairy and gluten and seed oils like they're the plague as much as possible. If I have, I have autoimmune issues that I've been struggling with, and I've been diagnosed with multiple different autoimmune things, and I think the conclusion is probably mast cell activation syndrome, which I'll be making a ton of videos about in the future when I have a greater grasp on it. I need to consult with experts and doctors and people, because it's just a really broad diagnosis as far as the potential causes. The symptoms and everything are kind of obvious, but narrowing down what's actually going on and what works, because theoretically you avoid histamines if you're on mast cell activation problems, and red meat, in aged red meat, is super high in histamines, and it's literally one of the only things that doesn't bother me almost at all. Eat too much of it. I think if I eat too much fat all at once, a big bolus of fat, I do get intestinal problems, and that is because I also think that I have some gallbladder dysregulation, which is the next kind of thing that I'm going to tackle, is just going ham on researching how to completely heal the gallbladder. I know I've got some gallstones, and I think I just have a lack of peak gallbladder function. Eating enormous amounts of saturated animal fats might have bogged it down, but I kind of had to do that because of the inflammatory response and immune response I was getting from everything else. So it's a dance figuring out. Once you get symptoms, if you're having noticeable symptoms from eating food, you're already pretty far down a bad path, and it only gets worse from there if you don't aggressively figure out what is causing those symptoms, what exacerbates them, everything like that. So it's a dance. It's to figure it out. There's no one person out there with all the information you likely need, just because everyone's situation is so incredibly unique to them. And you see people, if you're researching, trying to figure out what's going on, you see people on YouTube, you read studies, whatever it is, and studies are hard because they're so focused on one thing, one particular variable, that often the information you glean from them isn't that applicable for healing a complex, issue like immune or spinal cord injury, an autoimmune issue, or spinal cord injury or anything like that. It can give you insight into like a narrow part of your total healing plan, I guess you call it. Oh, I forgot to check the time. It's 19 minutes now, only 162 degrees in here. I got in here early. Normally I like to wait until it's about 175. But this will still do the trick, still pouring sweat, stretching, sitting in a V-sit, and turn the time up to 20 minutes and try to make it another 20 minutes. So I can give you a narrow, studies can give you a narrow thing. You listen to YouTubers, whoever, but whatever works for them might not be what works for you. I can't. And you don't know, it's in a short YouTube video. You don't know all the other factors and variables that they were putting in there. One thing that I don't think can be discounted from gut problems and autoimmune issues and just disease in general is stress, anxiety, fear, emotions. I don't think you can separate that out, where if you're just in a state of constant fight or flight or panic or whatever it is, it could be exacerbated by it. It could have started because of the physical problems, but now it's manifested itself into its own cycle. It might make the physical problems impossible to get rid of, or near impossible to get rid of, with just lifestyle interventions. I think the lifestyle interventions can give you the edge that allows you to, it's all a balancing act. But day 26, just want to emphasize how transformative it has been, just being really strict, just avoiding all that shit out there in the world. And if you're doing that already, you're eating a whole food diet, and you're doing some really strict version of that, whether it's FODMAP, whether it's paleo, whatever it is, and you're not getting the results you want, switch it up. Follow your intuition. That's what I found to be the biggest lesson, the hardest lesson to learn, because it takes years and time to develop intuition. But just really make notes of how different foods and substances and things and activities make you feel, and double down on the ones that make you feel great, and just eliminate the ones that make you feel terrible. And the only reason I'm sharing all this, my journey and everything, is because I just want to expedite the process for anyone else who's on a path to either heal from disease or feel better in general, or just optimize their health. It's my passion. It's the only thing I foresee really being valuable 10 years from now, as far as a skill that I can develop, as far as with AI and technology advancing in the direction it is, and with being paralyzed and not having the ability to leverage my physical strength and manual labor capabilities. The only real value that I think I'm going to be able to bring in the next 10 years is just insights into how to integrate into a new technological world and a turbulent political landscape and social landscape. My goal is to become well adjusted to no matter what comes my way that's outside of my control by maintaining control, by maintaining complete discipline control over the things in my life that I have influence over. There's so much I can't control. I can't control what Putin and Trump and Biden do. I can't control unforeseen pandemic. I can't control the economy. Can't control wars. Can't control racism or religion or all the shit that's going on. So for me, the most healthy thing to do until I get to a level of influence where I could influence one of those things, I don't know if I ever will get there, but until I can meaningfully influence or contribute to those conversations in a super knowledgeable way, I just put all that shit out of my mind. In the, I think it was, what's that book called? Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Amazing book. That's the name of the book for sure. I can't remember the author's name. I think it's Stephen Covey. But read that years ago when I was living in New Zealand. And gosh, what a life hack. I need to reread that book because it is simply the first step towards being able to make meaningful strides forwards. It's just push everything you have no control and no influence over out of your mind, out of your life, out of your mind, out of your periphery vision. There's, if you're investing and making long-term decisions, maybe keep a pulse on it and check what hypothesize what you think is going to happen. Take in some relevant information to make hypotheses, or even double down and form a thesis on what's going to happen next, so you can make some strategic My phone overheated, but I'll basically just quickly finish what I was saying. It's been a huge help to me, and this is pretty obvious, people know this, but taking my focus off things outside of my control and putting it on the little things that I can promise myself to do that are in my control: wake up on time, exercise, do a certain number of tasks at work, etc. And then I expand that out to things that are just in my circle of influence, but I can gain more control over as I have more just personal power built up from not diverting my focus to too many powers that be that I just simply can't do anything about. But interesting, I made it the 20 minutes since I saw you last. Made an interesting discovery. Now, it's not obviously not my discovery by any stretch of the imagination. I'm sure this is known by millions of people throughout history. But I often listen to like Native American chants, Buddhist chanting at certain frequencies to kind of get me in a relaxed state and push longer and farther in the sauna, and also drop into that place of peace and tranquility where you can draw power from and draw inspiration from much easier. And lately when I listened to some Native American drumming, some Buddhist chanting. Well, for whatever reason, when I put it on, it actually really is stimulating and causing me anxiety. So what I did in the last 5 minutes when I was panicking and justifying getting out of the sauna in a million different ways, I was sitting in silence doing breathing work, and rather than put on a third-party chant, I decided to just make up my own. Let's see if I can do it. No. Nope. All right, so I can't do it because it was in rhythm with my breathing, and basically it was something like bum bum ba da 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 dum bottom. I can't even repeat it because I'm not in the rhythm. That's super interesting. So what I'll have to do next time is film that last 5 to 10 minutes, and I just went completely off my own breathing pattern and just made noises in beat to it. It ended up being the same rhythm and beat over and over again, and it made it tremendously easy to make it the last 5 minutes. I didn't check the clock a single time. In fact, I had my eyes closed and the time ran out, and I was just sitting in the sauna as it started to cool down, and I didn't even notice, which is completely the opposite of what normally happens in the last 5 minutes. Normally I would be literally checking the time like every 15 to 60 seconds, depending on how well I'm doing. But super interesting if you're big into breath holds and heat or cold exposure to kind of slip into that deep state of relaxation easier, that state of flow, that place that you can create from, that you can draw power and energy and ideas from, whatever the fuck that is. My favorite method of doing it is either, sports I love. It used to be snowboarding or running. And then the only other way I can really find that deep state is if I am doing intense heat or intense cold with kind of breath work as well. So if you are interested in that, when the struggle gets real, I highly recommend just humming something out, just whatever it is. It's really weird when you're in that kind of suffering state. It just comes to you, I think. I've never done it before, but it just came to me today, and it was really, really interesting and helpful. Definitely going to experiment with that a lot more. Now I'm going to go shower and get out of here so I can, throw some food together and get to work. All right, wanted to show this before we get started on the workout. This is just a nice little trick. You can pull that thing up and stick the pin in there, and then what it does is it lengthens that cable down so you can actually reach it. You can lock in and lean from one side to the other in the wheelchair. It makes it much easier to use the cables for certain workouts. I didn't really utilize it that well in this. I don't know why I didn't lock myself and then lean one way than the other, but I didn't. But you see, I didn't notice on this first set, I actually have more weight on the right arm than the left arm, and I'm trying to figure out, why is this so unbalanced? I feel really weird. Oh, man, my left arm is so much weaker than the right. But yeah, eventually realized that was the issue. And I've never done this workout before, and it was just kind of hard getting balanced and situated, figure out where I was activating my chest and everything. But did this for 3 sets, some flat bench and some flies, but I didn't film the flat bench or the flies, or if I did, I lost the footage. But yeah, I just wanted to at least share this one because I'm just kind of, branching out and improvising on new stuff in the gym, and I thought that was a really handy thing with the pin and the bar up. Oh man, another day of selling health insurance in the books. Sold a plan, have another big whale, as they call it in the industry, just a big plan that'll pay good in the works. But the guy is, I was making sure that microphone was right way up. The guy is being difficult, just wants something that doesn't exist, which is a great health insurance plan for a fair price. Fucking asshole, how dare he. But yeah, they're just expensive as shit. There's no way around it. Unless you're poor. If you're poor, you're set. But if you have, if you're rich, you're set as well. But if you're in the middle, you're about to get fucked. That's just that's the way of it. But what a just soul-sucking, draining career this would be. 3 years, I can do 3 years. That's no problem. But just, I don't know how people do it. How the hell does anyone work in an office just doing middleman work, like agent shit, like I'm doing? I guess you could find passion and purpose in it if you really were a certain type of person or just dug really deep and masked so much about your true nature as a human, most people's true nature as a human, and what we enjoy and what we like doing. It's just crazy that people spend 8, 9, 10, 12 hours a day inside an office building, just doing something that means nothing. Like, if I didn't exist, these people would still find health insurance. It's just a matter of talking them into, one of the plans that I sell, and then filling out their paperwork, and bada bing, bada boom. Some company some insurance company gets to make some money and some person has health insurance. But I mean, what is the fucking point? And it's not like I necessarily hate it. I just hate it when you compare it to the millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of other things I could be doing that I enjoy so much more. Compared to another job, it's great. It's just, working in, an employee, I'm not technically an employee, I'm a contractor, but an employee capacity where you're just doing the bidding of some, giant corporation. It's just not for me. I don't know. I don't know. That's the summary of that. If it's for you, party on. But it is for me right now because I got to keep the money flowing. Got to keep it coming in. Got to keep the lights on and the mortgage paid, and the other bills, the endless other bills of 2024. Got to keep them rocking until I can find more meaningful and deeply rewarding ways to make money, namely having a beautiful retreat up in the mountains focused on health and well-being. But my time will come. It will come. I'm just riffing a little bit. Got a nice chest workout in. Not nice, actually. I shouldn't say that at all. I got a really shitty chest workout in. I did like 5 sets and just ran out of time. I was super busy all day and just went down and just got a few sets in before I took off from work because I don't have any real meaningful way to do chest at home, and I wanted to do something. But this super low calorie thing is killer for the workouts. I mean, I just don't have the fire and the energy that I need at all. I just don't have that extra juice whatsoever, which is disappointing because I really want to make some meaningful gains right now, but it's just, that season's coming. It's only a couple weeks away, and we'll start. I'm not even going to call it bulking because I'm not going to bulk. I think bulking, sick Ferrari. It's gone because it's Ferrari. Maybe we'll catch up with it. I'll show it to you. I don't even know if it's a sick Ferrari. It's just a Ferrari, which I think is sick because I'm from Idaho, and I didn't see very many Ferraris growing up. A lot more of them in Florida, and it's gone. But I thought it was pretty cool. Oh yeah, I think you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear it. I can hear it. Anyways, I'm not even going to call it a bulk. I think bulking is stupid for the average person. I mean, it's not stupid. It's stupid for me. It's not stupid for, if you just want to put on as much size as possible, or if you've got, I think it's called like an ectomorph body type and you're super skinny. Yeah, you might need to put some meat on the bones, but I want to do what I think is called a recomposition. I just want to, gain lean muscle mass and dial the calories up slowly as needed. I'm not tracking my calories right now just because I'm doing so much. It's just a pain in the ass to add it on, and it ends up, I'm so lazy when I track my calories. Like, I'll just end up eating only like 6 different types of food because then it's all saved and it's super easy and I can just plug it in really fast, and rather than having like a diversified nice lunch, I'll just eat like 2 pounds of ground beef because it's really easy to plug it in. And I don't want to do that. You can still hear that Ferrari somewhere in another lane, but I don't want to do that. So not tracking my calories yet, but going to do that soon. When I start getting more to like the precise amount, when I'm trying to figure out what exactly I need to have full energy all the time, not be gaining fat, but be like steadily putting on muscle over the course of time. I'm not trying to gain anything crazy. I just want to get kind of back to the muscle mass I was before, with significantly less fat than I had before. Just a lower body fat percentage. Oh, now you can see that Ferrari. We caught up to him. Let's check it out. I don't know much about Ferraris, but it looks pretty cool. Anyways, yeah, that is completely, you know, super efficiently derailed myself with the checking out the Ferrari. That's the plan. Gonna, you know, start tracking calories when it gets more to, oops. Sorry, got a text message about something to do with insurance. Had to check it real quick. Anyways, gonna start tracking calories and you know, dial it up after I get back from this music festival and everything. Right now, gonna go home, gonna hop in the sauna for the second sauna session of the day. I never do evening saunas because sometimes getting real hot right before bed makes it hard to sleep, but I feel kind of like just statically stressed out from a super busy day, you know, just talking about insurance with a bunch of people. And so I think that a nice unwind in the sauna, just 15-20 minutes of breath work, gonna take a nice bolus of different supplements before I hop in the sauna. Nothing stimulating. I mean, actually, I don't know that for sure. I'm going to take N-acetylcysteine. I'm not sure if that's stimulating or not. I wouldn't imagine so. The only thing I know about it is it helps detox. I'm going to take niacin, which definitely isn't stimulating. I usually take it if I'm taking it and I don't have access to a sauna. I take it before I sauna if I have access to a sauna. But if I don't, before I got my sauna shipped here from Idaho, if I wasn't going to the gym that had a sauna, I would take it before bed, and it seems to help me sleep. We're going to take niacin, some NAC, I'm going to check out my Detox Ultra and see what's in it, but I think it might be a bit stimulating for me for before bed. I'm going to take some melatonin, probably a pretty kind of hefty dose of melatonin for me. Just, I mean, that's like 2-3 milligrams. Sometimes I'll go crazy and take like 10 or 20 milligrams, but very rarely, and sometimes it gives me a headache. So anyways, I digress. 2 milligrams of melatonin, most likely, and then what else am I gonna throw in that mix? I would just want, might text Kelsey and see if she has some CBD and take some CBD, and then yeah, do a nice 15-20 minutes in the sauna, get out and take a nice cold shower. And what I'll do is I will you know, about right before I fall asleep, I'll take about you know, I'll take some activated charcoal, or this binder I have. It's activated charcoal, zeolite, bentonite clay, and a few other things. I'll take the binder so that any toxins that are secreted into my intestines, I guess, during the night will get bound to that carbon, I guess. And I will also put some glutathione up the keister. I have some glutathione suppositories, and yeah, they're supposed to help you detox as well. So benefit of being paralyzed and not being able to feel your butthole is not much intimidation from the suppositories. Not that a small suppository made of like squishy material would have intimidated me anyways, but just saying, it's just, you know, you gotta look on the bright side, see your glass half full. Don't have to feel that sucker heading up there. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna show you guys the sunset. You guys, I say, if anyone's made it this far in the video, thank you. I'm happy that you're with me, joining me on my commute home. Beautiful evening in Orlando, Florida. Day 26, coming to a unsanctimonious end. I'm not sure if that is the correct vocabulary vernacular use of that word, but it sounded good, so I'm sticking with it. Good night.